Good evening, dear viewers. You are watching the live broadcast of our weather news forecast today. It is Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025, the beginning of autumn, yet marked by unusual volatility across the United States and the Atlantic Basin. As millions of Americans wrap up their Labor Day holiday weekend, this morning's weather updates have once again captured public attention. The likelihood of Tropical Storm Gabrielle, the next named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season, is becoming increasingly clear. Meanwhile, across the U.S. mainland, temperatures and atmospheric systems continue to bring sharp contrasts, from unusual cold in the Great Lakes and Northeast, to heat and humidity in Florida and the Gulf Coast, and drought across the West. Altogether, these factors paint a complex meteorological picture that reflects the severity and instability of North American climate during this seasonal transition. Early this morning, the National Hurricane Center, NHC, released a significant update on a tropical disturbance that recently emerged off the west coast of Africa. This system moved off the African continent over the weekend and is now located south of the Cabo Verde Islands in the far eastern Atlantic. While it currently remains only a disorganized cluster of thunderstorms, experts believe oceanic and atmospheric conditions are gradually becoming more favorable for development. As a result, the NHC has raised the 7-day development outlook to a medium chance, while keeping the 48-hour outlook at a lower level. This means the system could strengthen in the coming days and eventually become a named tropical cyclone, and the name already waiting on the list is Gabrielle. According to Fox weather meteorologist Craig Herrera, the system's development will be slow, not an explosive process, but it warrants close monitoring since it is positioned in the so-called main development region of the Atlantic, an area historically favorable for cyclone formation. Herrera emphasized that steering currents in the tropics are currently weak, meaning the disturbance may drift westward for up to a week before nearing the Caribbean. This extended window creates high uncertainty in track forecasts. If the system remains weak, it may simply drift west with little impact, but if it strengthens into a tropical depression or tropical storm Gabrielle, a northward turn under the influence of upper-level winds and the jet stream is a plausible scenario. Forecast models remain split. Some project a weak system moving west toward the Caribbean. Others suggest rapid intensification into at least a tropical storm, possibly even a hurricane, before curving northward into the open Atlantic. The outcome hinges on upper-level wind shear and the amount of dry Saharan air nearby. If the Saharan dry air dominates, development could be suppressed, but if moisture prevails, explosive growth into a stronger storm is very possible. This is the scenario residents from the Caribbean to the U.S. East Coast should be watching closely. Meanwhile, today's weather across the United States is equally noteworthy. The national map for September 2nd, 2025, shows stark contrasts. The Northeast remains cooler than average. The West continues hot and dry, while the Gulf Coast deals with heavy rain. This split is driven by a surge of Canadian cold air pressing south over the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley, while subtropical high pressure lingers over the southwest, keeping California, Nevada, and Arizona under heat. In the Northeast and New England, residents woke up to unusually chilly temperatures, many areas in the 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 to 13 degrees Celsius, range, with some localities dropping near 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 to 5 degrees Celsius. These numbers are rare for early September, which usually still feels like late summer. Conditions are dry with northerly winds reinforcing the chill. For states like Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, it feels more like late September or even early October. People are advised to carry light jackets for mornings and evenings, as daytime highs only reach 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. The Great Lakes and Midwest share a similar story. States such as Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Ohio remain under the influence of the cold air mass, with morning lows around 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 7 to 10 degrees Celsius, and afternoon highs near 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Celsius. Strong winds over the lakes are creating rough waters, with cloudy skies and scattered showers. For farmers in the Midwest, This temperature swing poses challenges to late-season crops accustomed to warmer September weather. By contrast, the Southeast and Florida are under sweltering heat and afternoon thunderstorms. In South Florida and the nearby Bahamas, a stalled frontal boundary is producing heavy rainfall. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach can expect intense showers this afternoon, along with lightning and the potential for waterspouts offshore. When skies clear, the heat index soars to 105 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 to 43 degrees Celsius. This makes Florida one of today's high-alert weather zones. Across the Gulf Coast, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, showers and storms continue. A lingering low-pressure trough keeps moisture streaming inland, triggering widespread rainfall. Flood watches are in effect for low-lying areas of New Orleans and Houston. Authorities advise limiting travel during downpours and preparing for emergency scenarios. Daytime highs hover at 85 to 88 degrees Fahrenheit, 29 to 31 degrees Celsius, with oppressive humidity. In the west, drought and heat dominate. California's Central Valley and southern regions see highs of 95 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 to 38 degrees Celsius. Low humidity and dry winds keep wildfire risk at very high levels. Nevada and Arizona remain similarly hot, 100 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, 37 to 40 degrees Celsius. However, the Four Corners states, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, may see localized monsoonal storms this afternoon. Though brief, these downpours could cause flash flooding in mountain terrain. The Rocky Mountains are cooler with highs of 55 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 12 to 18 degrees Celsius. Some higher elevations above 8,000 feet already dropped below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 to 5 degrees Celsius, overnight, hinting at an early winter onset. In the Pacific Northwest, Washington and Oregon face cloudy, damp conditions with on and off rain near Seattle and Portland. Temperatures stay mild at 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 to 18 degrees Celsius. With occasional morning fog. Farther north, Alaska is clearly transitioning into fall, with cold rain and highs only 40 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 to 7 degrees Celsius. In Fairbanks, nighttime lows dip to 36 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 degrees Celsius, with thin frost reported in spots. Hawaii, as usual, enjoys sunny skies with brief evening showers. Highs near 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 29 degrees Celsius. Though large surf is expected along north and east-facing shores due to distant Pacific low-pressure systems. Returning to Tropical Storm Gabrielle's potential, meteorologists stress that the key difference between a weak disturbance and a named storm lies in sustained convection around its center. Currently, satellite imagery shows scattered thunderstorms but hints of a forming circulation. That means only a slight improvement in upper-level winds could trigger rapid organization. Herrera cautions that while short-term odds remain low, the persistence of this system combined with warmer-than-average Atlantic waters justify raising the one-week forecast outlook. In other words, it's highly likely we will hear the name Gabrielle in just a few days. To recap, tropical systems are classified as follows: below 39 miles per hour, 63 km per hour, winds. They are called tropical depressions, 39 to 73 miles per hour, 63–118 km per hour. They become tropical storms and receive names: above 74 miles per hour, 119 km per hour. They are hurricanes, ranked category 1 to 5 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Thus, if the current disturbance continues to intensify, Gabrielle would at least become a tropical storm. In the worst-case scenario, it could evolve into a major hurricane threatening the Caribbean or even the U.S. East Coast, though such outcomes remain uncertain at this stage. On land, Americans still face today's complex weather picture. In Texas, Dallas, Houston, and Austin expect cloudy skies with scattered storms and highs near 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius. The clash of Canadian cold air from the north and Gulf moisture from the south creates unstable conditions. Oklahoma and Kansas also face heavy rain with flash flood warnings in low-lying areas. In the central Midwest, states like Iowa, Nebraska, and Missouri see mostly cloudy skies with highs of 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 to 24 degrees Celsius, cooler than average for September. Prolonged rain may affect late-season harvests. Chicago and St. Louis remain chilly, with nighttime lows dipping below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius. Along the mid-Atlantic seaboard, from Virginia through New Jersey and New York, skies are mostly cloudy with occasional sun. But overall cool, temperatures hover near 68 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 to 22 degrees Celsius. With northeast winds adding to the chill. In Washington, D.C., post-holiday outdoor events may be disrupted by scattered evening showers. In the Deep South, Georgia, Alabama, and South Carolina see hot, sunny conditions with highs of 90 to 93 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 to 34 degrees Celsius. Afternoon thunderstorms are expected, with lightning hazards. Atlanta, Birmingham, and Charleston will endure sticky midday heat before storms move in by evening. The Southwest remains parched. Phoenix reaches 104 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius, with humidity as low as 10 to 15%. Wildfire danger is critical. In New Mexico, however, the summer monsoon sparks afternoon storms around Albuquerque and Santa Fe, with flash flood threats in narrow valleys. Las Vegas remains hot at 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 degrees Celsius. With cooler nights near 78 degrees Fahrenheit, 25 degrees Celsius. California faces dangerous heat and dryness. Los Angeles climbs to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 degrees Celsius. Interior areas like Riverside reach 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 37 to 38 degrees Celsius. Northern California, including Sacramento, faces heightened wildfire risk under strong dry winds and humidity below 20%. Red flag warnings are in place. San Francisco is milder at 78 degrees Fahrenheit, 25 degrees Celsius, thanks to fog. But humidity remains high. Oregon and Washington are damp with highs of 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 to 21 degrees Celsius. And Seattle sees light rain most of the day. In the northern Rockies, Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, skies are clear with highs of 60 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 to 24 degrees Celsius. But mountain valleys are already flirting with freezing overnight temperatures, signaling early frost. Finally, Alaska and Hawaii again showcase the extremes of U.S. geography. Anchorage reports cold rain and highs near 48 degrees Fahrenheit, 9 degrees Celsius. Fairbanks dipped to 36 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 degrees Celsius, overnight. With early frost, meanwhile, Hawaii maintains its tropical warmth with highs near 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 29 degrees Celsius, and brief passing showers. But rough surf threatens exposed northern and eastern coasts.